Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. It is another Phem Speaks, but a Phem Speaks with a difference. As you can see, my face is very much a topic of conversation, not just on my YouTube channel right now, but also on TikTok and Instagram, because I shared a video of me cutting my hair yesterday, and so many of you, rightfully so, I believe, or should I say, you know, if I saw someone in my position, I would definitely have questions. So I'm going to do my best to answer as many as I can, just so that there isn't a repeat of the same question. And even if, you know, somebody else comes on to the channel or the page, you can answer the questions for me, you know. I'm trying my best to limit my social media presence in the comments as much as possible, guys, because some days I just haven't got the energy to be in there. And I know it seems like a horrible thing for content creators to say these days, but I'm just being honest. I think the downside to social media is that the more honest you are, the more people don't like you. You know, people don't like your honesty. So I've learned that, and I think that as much as people don't like my honesty, I don't want it to change me by seeing their negative reactions to it. I don't want to stop being transparent just because somebody else doesn't like hearing it. I don't want to stop showing up just because somebody doesn't like what I do, you know? So if I limit myself from seeing the reaction, I'm finding I'm able to keep going more. Sometimes I look, because I'm just human, and also to kind of like iron out any misconceptions, but the majority of the time I try to keep myself off of my own platform as much as possible. And I hope you understand that. I know the real ones do, but you know, just to make it clear. So I thought I'd use this video to share some answers, right? To give you some answers. And I might do this a bit more often. If there is something like my face or any other video maybe that causes a lot of questions, I will do a Q&A like this. Okay, so the first thing that I want to address is my name change. People have mentioned it on here, they've mentioned it on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everyone, not everyone, but there's a lot of people who have asked, why did I change my name from ShesOnABudget? And I have to say, it's been a long time coming, guys, but more so, and I know people are going to think this is a very weird answer, but it's the truth. Do you know what I mean? It's very much an honest answer. My channel has changed so much in the last, I've been on here for 6 years, and my channel has changed so much. I've gone from cash stuffing to lifestyle, which many people told me would be impossible to do. Many have tried and failed, right? And I have done that by the grace of God, not because it's my strength, but purely because I think that was where I was meant to be all along. And I loved ShesOnABudget. I still really believe that ShesOnABudget is still me. But when it comes to the things that I want to do for this platform in the future, having a synonym, is it a synonym? Cinnamon? That sounds like a cinnamon roll. Ignore her. Having an alias as a name limits you from a lot of things. And I've learned that as my page has grown, which is why I've changed my name. But ultimately, the reason why, as I said, you might think is silly, but the real reason why is because I don't really like my name. I've not really liked my name ever since I was a child. Now, I wouldn't say I hate my name, but I'd say that I've never had a positive outlook towards my name. And what I mean by that is my name, Euphemia. So most people refer to me as Phem. They don't call me Euphemia. My mum calls me Euphemia. She's the only one who probably does. And now and again, a doctor or a nurse may call me Euphemia, but rarely do people refer to me as Euphemia. It's always Phem because it's easier for them. And I know you're probably thinking something already when I say that, but it's the truth. I've made my name shorter to make it easier and more palatable for other people. And that was my first mistake. Second mistake was that I didn't really know the meaning of my name. When I was growing up, you know, I've never had an opportunity to find my name anywhere. Like, you know, on the key rings that you'd go into a shop and get a key ring with the name on it. It'd never be me. It'd be Sally, Jane, Mary, never Phem, you know, or Euphemia. I never had the opportunity to have like a bookmark or anything like that with my name on it. So I always knew my name was very different and very unique. I thought unique was bad. So I've always had a negative kind of like outlook to it. And then I found a dictionary, a name dictionary. I looked for the definition and it said, anyone who names their child this is a fool. That's all I remember seeing. I don't even remember the meaning or what came out. It just said, anyone who names your child is a fool. And I just remember thinking that and just thinking, I hate my name. I don't like it. This is a bad name to have. I later found out there was a saint called Euphemia who was burnt at the stake. So I was like, heh. But now I know about saints who were burnt at the stake. Now I have a bit more of a softer spot towards her. I know that most of those were Protestant people who had come to the truth. So I'm actually like quite positive about that now. But the other day I was watching a video. He said that finding the meaning of your name will give you more purpose, right? I was like straight away thinking, well, I know what the meaning of my name is. It means well-spoken. And I know I don't live up to that. So what are you talking about? You know, my mum's always commented on my grammar, how terrible it is, how, you know, the way that I speak, the way that I say certain words, like ask, you know, it's just not good. So she's always correcting me when I speak, even to her, she would correct me. So I always find it quite laughable that my name means well-spoken. But she said something different. She said, look up your name, the meaning of your name, and then go to the Bible and search for people who have that name, have that definition, right? So I was like, what? So basically, if your name means, I don't know, well-spoken, go to the Bible and look up someone who was well-spoken, right? And whatever they're doing, that's your purpose, what they're doing, right? So I was like, okay, that's good. So I went to the Bible, guys, and I looked up well-spoken in there, and nothing came up. But what did come up was people who were well-spoken of. Then I realized it wasn't about being well-spoken as in me, but well-spoken of. And I thought, well, if somebody who has over 1 million followers across multiple platforms isn't well-spoken of, then I don't know what to say. Do you know what I mean? And I was straight away thinking, wow, I never connected those dots before. And it made me realize I am in my purpose. This platform, all these platforms I have, I'm living in that purpose of being well-spoken of. Now, here's the second thing. This is what really pushed me over the edge, because I found that out a few months back. But what really changed my mind in changing my name to my name is my middle name. My middle name is Christina, which means anointed one. So I don't know, Christians, you may feel me on this, but if your name was well-spoken of anointed one, would you not want people to hear it? I think so, guys. I think so. So that is the main reason. That is the only reason why I've changed my name. I know some of you may think, oh, it's because I'm not on a budget anymore. Oh, because you know, I laugh because someone yesterday said on one of the videos, as I said, I don't look at comments a lot, but now and again, I'll peek, guys. My hair video I posted on Facebook. Someone said, oh, I used to like her when she did more budgeting videos. Something like that. I can't remember what they said. Something like, along the lines of that, right? I preferred it when she did the budgeting videos. And someone else said, she's on camera cutting her own hair. How much more budget can you get? You know, and I had to think to myself, it's really crazy how people will just try to say anything. You know, when I had the name She's on a Budget, people wanted to change my name from She's on a Budget to She's Not on a Budget. Now I've changed my name to Not. Now I wish she was. It's just, you can't win. Do you know what I mean? You can't win, guys. You have to do what is right for you. And that's why I'm telling you why. But I still know people aren't going to say that's the reason why, right? I still know people will not agree with what I'm saying. I still know people will say something else, but it doesn't matter to me what they say because I know why I did it. If I'd done it for any other reason, then I wouldn't be as firm about it. And I would not have changed my name for any other reason. I've changed it because it means something to me to have my name now on all of my platforms in its entirety. Not just Phem, not just Phem more, but Euphemia Christina, which is what the C represents more. Okay? That's my answer. Do with that what you will. Back to the topic at hand. We're going to go on to Instagram and answer some of the questions that we have on here, which I feel like they're repeated quite a lot across all of the platforms. So I'm going to go to the one that I've seen the most. Someone said to me, what happened to your face? So I'm going to give you a little quick rundown, guys, of what's happened. This has been a 3-year ongoing battle with my face, okay? It first started before I was really getting into the whole vlogging thing. I just started to actually come on to TikTok live to do my devotions. And again, some of you are not going to like what I have to say, but it's the truth. I truly believe it was a spiritual attack when I first had this happen to my skin. And I know you're going to say, well, there must be something else that you must have done. I changed my skincare products, and that may have been something that initiated it, but it has been an ongoing thing, guys. And I have done everything that people have said in the comments, I've done. And I'm going to go through what I've done so that you are aware. But I don't know what initiated it other than me using some products on my face that could have triggered it. So I stopped using skincare, and I haven't used skincare, I'll say a consistent skincare routine for the last 3 years. I've tried products now and again, like new products that I've received for PR. But as soon as I get a reaction to it, I stop using it. And that's how it's been. I've not used any product. I use water and a flannel to wash my face every day. Someone else said to use aloe plants, castor oil, black seed oil. I've tried all of that. The first thing that I didn't even go to the doctors. The first week that it happened, because it was 3 weeks before I went to the hospital about my face when it first started. The first thing that I actually did was I went and got castor oil. I went and got frankincense essential oils. I got aloe vera plant. I did all these things. That's why I have an aloe vera plant over there. You see that in the corner? I did everything, guys, and everything burnt my face to a crisp. Like, I had a reaction to everything that I touched after that. So it didn't work. Then we had a common one, which was, it must be the paint, it must be the fumes. Now, to be honest, I'm not going to rule that out, because I'm so open to suggestions right now that, you know, if it was the paint, you know, great. But I don't really believe it was the paint, as in the only thing. I think it is a mixture of things. Like, it has to be the right concoction for it to happen. And what I mean by that is that since I've come back from the States, I've noticed that when I am maybe a week or 15 days before my period, that's when my flare-up starts. Now, the reason why it's got to this degree that we're up to here is because every single month when it happens, you're not aware of it because it never gets this far. I've been using a cream that has been prescribed to me since I went to the dermatologist. Yes, I am under a dermatologist. I've been using a cream since I went to the dermatologist in May to soften the blow. So when it comes around, I use the cream and it stops. But I have hydrocortisone in that cream, guys. And I didn't want to be using hydrocortisone for extended periods of time. I wanted to get to the bottom of it, which is why this month I chose not to use it. So the reason why my skin is like this is because I've stopped using the cream that the doctor gave me in May. So I know why it's like this. But at the same time, to get to the degree it's gone to, again, only God knows. Only God knows. One thing that someone said, which I thought was really interesting, they said, what if it's the chlorine in the water? And I really, again, that makes sense to me, because I remember for the first year, I was washing my face morning and night, thinking it had something to do with the bacteria or me touching my fingers, because people say, oh, you know, the germs, blah, 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 blah. Guys, if you know me, you know that I wash my hands probably more than anyone in the whole wide world. I'm not even joking. I wash my hands so often, it's insane. Like, every time I'm in the kitchen, I wash my hands. Every time I touch something different, I wash my hands. I wash my hands all the time. But I do touch my face a lot, which, again, down to the chlorine, down to whatever, I'm thinking that these things are quite normal. And if you see where the majority of this is, it's around the part of my face that I'd be washing the most, right? As I said to you, I don't use skincare. So the only thing that is really on this area is water. So it could be that. But again, I don't think it is just one thing. I think it's a chemical storm that my face doesn't like. It has to be the right environment. And again, I think it has to be around my menstrual cycle where my hormones are a certain way. And I think it has to be a certain thing like the water that I use on my face, or even down to, someone said, the washing up liquid, or, you know, the makeup that I use. I do wear makeup now and again. So that's a few questions that I've answered there. Somebody else said, in America, you didn't have this, so maybe it's the UK. No, it isn't the UK. I did have it in America as well. As I said to you, you didn't see it get to this point that it's at now because I was using the cream that has been prescribed to me So it's definitely not America. Although I thought it would have been America. Like, I really thought I'd go to America and I'd be like in the sun and blah, 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 and I wouldn't have it. So I really thought it was tackled then as well, but unfortunately not. Someone else said, do you have an allergy to dairy? No, I don't eat any dairy. I don't eat any eggs. I don't eat any cheese. I don't drink any milk. And again, in America, I would say I ate probably the most dairy and most cheese-based products. Not even cheese really, but I did have dairy now and again when I ate out and in certain places. But even then, guys, it wasn't any more frequent and it wasn't any more less. Someone else said, it's your gut. It's what you're eating. And it isn't. As I said, 3 years ago, my diet was totally different. I didn't eat these things 3 years ago. I wasn't heavily into tofu or soy that you see me eat now. And it's been consistent. My face has been consistently the same way. You just have not seen these extremes like you have now because I've stopped using the cream that I had. I hope this makes sense, guys. Someone said heavy metal detox and celery juice. We did a juice. The first thing that I did when I changed my diet, thinking it was my diet, was I went on a 2-week cleanse. And all I was having was juice, fruit juices and plant juices for 2 weeks. I lost 10 kilos in that 2 weeks. And yeah, like, I don't know what to say. It's not anything to do with my gut. I wish it was. Like, I'm telling you, some of the suggestions, I know your intentions are good. Your intentions are good, but at the same time, I've tried them. I've not been idle about this. This is my face, I make my living on a platform. There's no food on earth I would avoid trying to heal my skin right now. Someone said about the mold. Now, this was another thing that I thought it was, which is why this is the third time that we have attempted the bathroom, because the first time, there was a lot of mold in there. And my landlord came in, thankfully, he's a good man. He came in and he ripped out the bathroom and he got builders in and they fixed the problem. Although it came back because we found out it wasn't an internal problem, it's an external problem. So we had to have people come in again to fix it after the external problem was fixed. And although they fixed it, they didn't really, because they were fed up, I think, having to come back in again. And they used paint on the wall that was not meant to be in the bathroom, which is why I went again over and above and done it myself how I want it to look with the right paint and such. But it's not a mold issue, because the mold, I've been told, would have to be coming into contact with my face. So it's not just like breathing it in, because it's nowhere else in my body, guys. I don't know if I said that already. And some people may say, well, yeah, even though it's not on your body, it may still be internally like a problem, and it just shows on your face. But I think you can clearly see it's not even everywhere on my face. It's just on my T-zone, as if to say it is a contact thing, which is why it's referred to as contact dermatitis at the moment. So I would need to be touching the mold. And now that since the bathroom has been done, I haven't really been in contact with the mold since then. Although, again, I'm not ruling anything out. It could be that still. Another question that we had, the hair relaxer, that's it. Is it to do with the hair relaxer, blah, 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 blah. Although I said on the video, which, my bad, I'm sorry, I said it's in my hair, which is why I had white stuff. I meant hairline. I should have said that clearly. Hairline is where it was. It wasn't actually on my scalp. And I think I said to you guys on YouTube, I came back and I was given some PR for some hair products and I used it, I think it was from L'Oreal. Anyway, I won't say the brand, but I had some hair products from this brand and my hair was so good. It was so shiny. My scalp was so clean, so good, guys. And I went to go and buy them again. And I didn't realise how expensive they were. So I didn't buy them. But by a miracle, they sent me another set of hair products. Same brand. But they weren't as well. They were for curly hair, which I thought would have actually been good. But they made my scalp so dry. So I didn't really like the second lot that they sent me. Well, my skin didn't like the second lot, should I say. Yeah, although my hair hasn't really been affected by this at all. When I went to get it relaxed, I had no reaction at all to it either. And again, I'm not ruling it out, but I've had this way longer. Then I've been relaxing my hair. I had it all the way from when I had my hair in locks. So I've gone from it being natural and having it on my skin and my hair not being natural and still having it on my skin. So I don't believe it's that, but you know, who knows? Who knows? I don't believe that is a trigger, but who knows? Anyway, guys, I think those are all of the questions that came up repeatedly. I hope that it kind of gives you a better picture as to what I'm going through right now. I'm currently still under the dermatologist. My next appointment is February of 2026. For Americanos, the NHS is very different out here to your medical system. We are under a GP or general practitioner. And when we have something like this, or we need a specialised doctor for certain conditions, we have to be referred to them. So I was referred to my dermatologist after 2 years of being persistent in my GP. It took them 2 years of me going backwards and forwards. Remember I said to you, I tried the whole natural route first of all. So I'd say for the first 6 months of that year, I was trying to do it on my own anyway. Not really using their stuff, trying to heal my gut, all those things. And then for the next year, I went back to them repeatedly over and over again. And then they finally referred me when I had a really, really horrible flare-up to the dermatologist, who I saw in May for the first time of this year. And I have an allergen test to see what I'm allergic to, but they're only doing certain tests. So they're not going to do a full panel of testing. They're only going to do 7, I think. So that is not until next February. So I have a wait, and that is just how it is in the UK. I can go private, but I didn't want to go just any private because, again, when you're referred, I don't know if you know this, some people don't know it, but in my area, the doctor I've been referred to by the NHS would have been the same doctor that I would pay for under private medical care. In my area, dermatology is such a big thing over here. And your wait time is probably the busiest department, that's what they've told me, in the whole of the NHS. And they have to use private doctors a lot of the time and pay them extra to get you to see them, even though you're waiting longer. So it's a whole crazy system. What I'm hoping to do, though, is not wait until February for the dermatologist I have, but go to a homeopath. There's somebody else who I've been referred to since I came back to church, who said that maybe of help, who would take my bloods and do my blood work to the way that I want it to be done. So I'm gonna see if I can go down that route and not have to wait until February. But that's all for now, folks. I mean, I'm praying, and I really appreciate all your prayers, for those of you who are praying, that this flare-up will cease very soon. I'm on antibiotics to deal with the swelling and to deal with the infection that I have currently. And I'm just hoping that it's going to be healed very soon. That's what I can do until the next time it rears its ugly head. But I'm just trying my best, as I said, to keep positive about it. And we've been here before, so it's not like it's new territory. I'm quite confident that it will be fine very soon and that I will be able to continue to share without having my lips nearly sealed shut. But yeah, anyway, guys, thank you so much for hearing me out. If you do have any more questions, pop them in the comment box below. I'll try my best to answer those ones. But yeah, I will speak to you very soon. Bye, guys.